Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Julie Sieben. I put together this yoga session for us to work together for the next 20 minutes or so with the goal of improving flexibility and relaxing the mind and relaxing the body. So take a moment to thank yourself for creating this 20 minutes for you. You deserve it and you need it. The type of yoga I want to do today is a combination of an active flow yoga, and we'll finish it off with a yin yoga. And the purpose of the yin yoga is to really allow the body to find full relaxation. So you'll need some props. I have a couple of pillows here, an extra yoga mat, and a yoga strap, or you could use a belt or even a towel. Anything that's in the living room or your closet will be fine. The purpose of the yin poses that we'll do in the second session are to really allow the muscles to completely relax so you can start to affect the fascia in the body. So you'll want to be in as supportive of a position as possible. So first we'll start with warming up with some active flow moves. So we'll start on our backs. You can come all the way down and just begin to find your breath. In yoga, we try to breathe in through the belly, filling up in through the nose, filling up the belly first, then let the ribs expand, then lift the chest last, and then exhale completely out the nose. Let's just do that a few times. Inhaling through the nose, feel the belly expand, feel the ribs expand, fill the chest last, and exhale completely out the nose, letting the body relax, and letting anything that happened before you got onto your floor today just to stay in the past. You don't have to deal with it right now. And allowing anything that may happen when you're done with this yoga session just to stay there in the future. You don't have to deal with it now. And give yourself this gift of the present moment. Listening to your body, honoring your body's messages. So we're going to start by having our feet flat on the floor, about hip distance apart, and spreading the toes out. We're going to inhale as we lift the hips up off of the mat, and exhale as we lower the hips down, keeping the spine in a neutral position. Inhaling, lifting up, driving through the heels, and exhaling all the way down. Imagining, feeling that breath, rising the hips up, and exhaling down. Allow the knees to continue to float forward. Don't let them fall out to the side. I'm going to add a little arm movement to this. So lifting the hips up on an inhale, and as the hips come down, we're going to reach the arms up overhead. So starting to flow, inhaling, lifting up, arms reaching down. And as we exhale, arms reaching up overhead. Allowing the neck to stay relaxed, the jaw to stay unclenched, and just feeling the effort where we want to feel it, and that's the hips, the glutes, and just starting to mobilize in through the shoulder joint. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Let's do this a few more times. Feels good to start waking up the muscles in the hips and the spine. It's a great exercise here to strengthen the core, activate the glutes. And let's do this one more time. Inhaling up and down. And we're going to bring our knees into the chest, give ourselves a gentle hug, and we'll take our nose up to the knees. And releasing the lower back. And letting the head come back down and just gently rocking side to side, massaging out that lower spine. And we'll let those legs come back down. We're going to move into some flowing core work now. So let's extend both legs out, arms overhead. And we're going to bring our knee toward our elbow and float it back down. And then exhaling, coming to that other side and back down. Exhale, lift, and inhale down. As we lift up, pulling the belly button down towards the spine. So you can stay at this level, or if you want to make this a little bit more challenging for yourself today, instead of bringing the leg all the way down to the floor, you can keep the legs up in the air. So we're going to start here, and what we know as a bicycle. So we inhale one direction, and we exhale the other direction. So keeping the legs up in the air is more work, of course. You feel your lower back and your abs have to engage more strongly. And listening to your body, if you feel any pain in the low back, certainly going back down to letting the leg rest on the floor. So warming up the spine, warming up the legs, warming up the hips. And let's go for 8 more. You'll be glad you did. You can do it. And last one, bringing the knees into the chest. And let's let them fall over to one side and reach the arm out to the opposite direction. Look toward it, nice spinal twist. And coming up, and we'll take it over to the other side. Feel that rotation in through the spine. Look over the hand. And coming back up to the center. Bringing the legs back down, we're going to move into that bridge one last time, but we're going to add a chest expansion to this. So we're going to lift the hips up once again, take our hands underneath our body, interlace the fingers, walk the shoulder blades down and under, expand the chest, lift the hips, drive through the heels. Think about reaching your knuckles toward your heels, relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Enjoy this nice chest expansion. Let's take a deep breath in here. And exhale. Let's do that one last time, feeling so good. You never regret working out. You only regret when you don't, so I'm glad you're doing this with me. We'll release the hands and we'll roll that spine down one vertebra at a time. To come up safely, let's roll over onto one side. You can press yourself up using the strength of your arms. And we're going to come into an all fours position, so we can crisscross our legs and come all the way onto all fours. So let's find ourselves with our hands underneath our shoulders, our fingers spread out wide, our knees underneath the hips, the belly pulled up and in nice and tight, the elbows are slightly bent, the scapulas are stable, so you're not collapsing in through here, but you're driving through the palms, stabilizing into the shoulder blades. And we're going to do bird dog, one of my favorite exercises. So we're going to take our left arm up and our right leg up behind us, just to the height of your body, and lower down. So we're going to inhale, other side, right arm, left leg, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, floating up, and exhale, down. So this exercise strengthens the glutes, the hamstrings, and all the deep muscles in your spine, your multifidi, your erector spinae, those deep stabilizing muscles in our spine that we don't really tend to, and that can contribute to chronic low back pain or reoccurring lower back pain. Inhaling up and exhaling down. We're going to change it a little bit. So this time, right arm, left leg up. We're going to meet the elbow and knee underneath our body and float back up on an inhale. So it's an exhale and inhale. So this is multitasking because you're now working the core, the abdominals as you come forward, and the lower back as you lift back up. Let's do that a few more times. How you doing? I know you said good. One more. And we'll bring the arm and leg back down. Let's take that to the other side. Left arm, right leg, hugs underneath the body, inhales up tall. So generating some heat before we go into our yin poses that we end up holding for a longer period of time. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Feel that crunch as you come forward. Let's do that 2 more times. You can do it. And we'll bring the arm and leg back down. Let's all just rest in child's pose for a moment. Reach those arms forward. Sink the hips back onto the heels. And let's walk the hands over to the right. Push the hips out to the left. Feel that nice stretch in through the left. You'll feel that in the armpit, all the way through the waist and through the lower back. And come back to the center and to the other side. Let that hip just fall out to the right. Feel that length, that stretch. And breathing easy. And coming back center. And we'll walk our hands up into sitting. So now you got your props all ready. We're going to start with the seated staff pose, which is a great stretch for the hamstring, the calf, and the back. Now I have 2 pillows. You may need 2 or 3, and don't be afraid to adjust your support as we go through these poses. I certainly will be. So let's start with our left leg out, our right leg in. We're sitting tall on our sit bones. We're going to sort of turn our belly button toward the middle of that left thigh. So there's a little bit of a rotation there. I'm going to grab 2 pillows. 3 might actually be good, but all I brought with me today were 2, so that's what I'm using. And also I'm going to grab my strap and see what you need with this. So we're going to take the strap around the foot, and we're going to use that to help bring our belly toward the pillow. So turning the torso so your belly button is lined up with the middle of your thigh, hinging forward at the hip, and just walking the hands down the strap. And if you can grab your foot, then you don't need the strap. You can hold on there. And if you can't, just use that strap. And finally, allow yourself to let your forehead rest on the pillow. So actually, mine doesn't reach, so I'm going to use one more prop. I'm going to use another mat, because the idea with the yin yoga is to get all the muscle out of it and allow yourself to be completely supported. So for me, that worked. 2 pillows and an extra mat. I don't actually need the strap. And we're going to hold this for 5 or 10 breaths and really just kind of relax into it. Still using that breath in which we inhale through the nose and exhale out the nose. And as your body surrenders to the stretch, you may need to get rid of a mat or get rid of a pillow. So now that we've been here for a couple of breaths, I'm able to go a little bit more forward. So I got rid of my mat, and I can reach the pillow now with my head. And let's do one more breath. Then slowly coming out of it, walking your hands up. Feels so good. So we're going to do that on the other side. So just listening to your body. Sometimes I'm feeling so tight that I've got three pillows. I don't bend forward much at all. Or you could even do this on a coffee table. Put your leg under the coffee table and rest your body. Put a pillow on the top coffee table if you don't go even this far forward. So we have our left foot to the inside of the right inner thigh. We're sitting up nice and tall to start. Maybe you're using the strap, maybe you're not. You've got a couple pillows on your right thigh. We're turning the belly button toward the right thigh. And we're beginning to slowly allow ourselves to sink down. Again, I think I'm going to use my mat again to allow my forehead to rest down on that mat. So with yin yoga, it's about complete surrender, taking all the muscular activation out of it to allow yourself to move into the deeper layers in the muscle and around the muscle called fascia.
Breathing in through the nose, filling up the belly, and exhaling. And maybe as you exhale, you deepen into the stretch, or maybe you just relax further into the stretch. Feeling the spine elongate, the back, the hamstrings, calves, and even the bottom of the foot if you have those toes sort of pulled back and that foot flexed back. And let's take one or two more breaths. It's kind of a shame to move on. And then coming out of the posture slowly, walking your hands up. Oh, that felt good. So that was our staff, stretching the back of the body, the hamstrings, the back. So now we're going to complement that by stretching the front of the body by doing a supine hip flexor and quad stretch. So we're going to put our mats behind us. Let's start with that right leg, slowly coming back. And I'm going to give you another option too if you feel, sometimes, especially my other leg, I'll feel a little bit too much of a pull in my knee. We always want to feel the pull in the muscles, not the joint. So putting yourself in a position in which that is possible. So 2 or 3 pillows behind you, right close up to your butt. One leg is straight, the other leg is sort of bent and pulled back, having that knee in line with the hip-ish. We're going to roll back. And finding this relaxed position. So if you find that your knee does not touch the ground in this position, if it's kind of hanging out there in space, support it. So putting a mat, a pillow, a shoe, whatever's nearby, underneath that knee. So again, you're in this supported position. So you'll feel a big stretch here in the front of the thigh, the quad, the hip flexor. And if you want a little bit more of a thoracic stretch, and it just feels so delicious, you can reach those arms up overhead and just feel that huge length and through the whole body. If that feels like too much, you can leave your hands by your side like this, or even just down, whatever works for you. So finding that position of sweet surrender. And it's amazing how effective this yin yoga is. If you do this a couple of times a week, you'll notice how you improve. Even within the session, you'll improve. And if you're not feeling as much of a stretch as you would like, here's where you can kind of listen to your body, maybe get rid of a pillow, and then see how you feel here, getting further down. And you'll notice asymmetries in your body for sure. I'm much more flexible on my right side than on my left side, so we'll see what happens as we switch sides. Stretching should never hurt. It should be relaxing and delicious. You should be able to breathe. You shouldn't be swearing silently to yourself. If you are, back off. I could hang out here all day. If you sit for a lot, as I do, I spend a lot of time driving. These muscles here, the hips, the quads, they all are always in a short contracted position, and they pull on the spine. So that's why sitting too much is just hazardous to your health in general, but particularly the lower back. Let's do one more breath or two. I'll stop talking so you can relax. Okay, so we'll come out of this. Use your hands to sort of help yourself come up into a seated position. Take your time unwinding that leg, slowly moving out of that position. And so we'll go to that other side. So I know for me, this is my tight side, so I know I'll need that mat right away to support that knee. Getting close to your pillows, slowly allowing yourself to float back. Your head should be supported on the pillows. I like to reach the arms overhead to open up the chest, to open up the upper back, the thoracic spine. And listening to your body, do you need another pillow? Can you get rid of a pillow? And maybe I'll see a little too much. I'm going to keep that support there. We're not super concerned about form and technique. We want to be relaxed and supported. Just focusing on the breathing. Deep diaphragmatic breathing that elicits the relaxation response. And you can carve out 20 minutes easily. You just have to decide to do it. You can always hit pause if you're enjoying the stretch and hang out here for a little bit longer. In yin yoga, you can hold these stretches for up to 5-10 minutes. You really can. As the minutes go on, you may find that you need a little less support here and there as your fascia relaxes into the stretch. So it's probably time for us to come out of this stretch. So we'll carefully use our bodies to pull ourselves up into seated, slowly unwinding that leg. And let's do one more. This is a really nice hip opener. So we'll use our pillows. We'll go back to the right side. I'm gonna line them up this way. So here's what it looks like. And you'll also need your strap or your belt or whatever you're using here. So we're gonna come onto our backs and wrap our strap around our foot. So you know probably this hamstring stretch. So getting where you feel a nice gentle stretch, the knee is straight, and we're going to allow that leg, holding on with the strap with the right hand, to fall open onto the pillows. So depending on your hip openness, you may need another pillow, or you may not need the pillows at all. Maybe you just need one. But wherever you are, you want to have that leg supported by the pillows, and then both hips flat on the ground. So my left hip hasn't kind of floated forward, both hips flat on the ground. And you can get an extra little chest stretch by bringing your left arm out toward the left. So feeling this in the groin, also the hamstrings. And one thing about tight hamstrings that we don't talk much about is that it's often linked to tight adductor muscles, tight inner thigh muscles. So if you're always trying to work on your hamstring flexibility, but you're not stretching your adductors, it'd be more effective if you also did things like this that stretch the adductors, the inner thigh muscles, because they're definitely intertwined as far as flexibility goes. Taking those deep breaths and even feeling how a big diaphragmatic breath helps open up the hips, helps deepen the stretch. Okay, I don't know about you, I could stay here all day, but we're gonna come on out so you can just slowly bend that knee, unhook yourself, and we'll flip our pillows over to the other side. And if you have adequate hamstring flexibility and you can hold on to your toe and don't need the strap, you're invited to do that. I'm gonna hold on to the strap. So getting our good hamstring stretch here, holding on to that strap with just the left hand and letting that left leg fall out to the left. I try to get my left hand in a position where my elbow isn't bent, so I can let that arm really totally relax. Both hips are flat.
And again, maybe you notice an asymmetry. One side's tighter than the other. For me, it's always my left. Interesting, that's where I always have my back problems too. And that's one of the great things about yoga, is that it offers balance on both sides. Just tuning into the breath, particularly if the mind wanders. Allow the awareness of your breath to guide you back into the present moment. Let's do a few more breaths and congratulating yourself for taking this time. You know, the little things do add up, even if you couldn't do the full video. Any amount that we can do is helpful. So to come out of this, just let that leg slowly bend. Take your time. And we'll transition back. So we'll roll onto our side. Use the strength of that top arm to press you up. And just sitting for a moment, feeling the effects of that effective short practice where we did some active yoga, we did some yin yoga. It's important to balance our physical activity in that way. So we do some active and we do some relaxing stuff too. So you can find this video and others on both of my websites. One is drjuliesieben.com and the other is associated with my new book that I know you're aware of, the 6 Weeks to Love Running.com. And this is part of my series to help you, my clients, help you, my patients, help all of you out there to take care of your body, to live well, to be happy, because life's a workout, so let's make it a good one. Thank you. Namaste.